Welcome to the NNBN podcast, talking with businesses, charities and organisations across Northamptonshire.
Sponsored by Poppy Design Studio. Find us at poppydesignstudio.com.
So we hear a lot about sustainability and climate change and social value, but what does it actually mean and where can we find out more information here in Northamptonshire? Well, today I'm joined by Dr Ebenezer Laryea from the University of Northampton, where he's an Associate Professor of Sustainable Development Law. So Ebenezer, welcome.
Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome, and thanks for coming to talk to us today all about sustainability and SLIPAH and what's going on here in Northamptonshire. So it is a wide, big area that we know. It's sometimes we're in the unknown a little bit with the climate change, but let's talk about a little bit about yourself and how you got into what you are doing today.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. And you make a very valid point. It's sustainability is a huge area. For me personally, it's a matter of passion, more than anything else, as I'm sure it is for you and others who are listening. So as you rightly said, I'm an associate professor of sustainable development law at the university, and my journey in sustainability and working within sustainability as an academic really started from work that I've done previously on human rights, which is, of course, an aspect of sustainability. And I began to develop a lot more interest in different fields of sustainability. And I think when you talk about sustainability, a lot of people straightly turn their attention to the environment, which is great, and which is important because it's the one thing that obviously stands out and is all around us when you talk about sustainability. But there is an aspect of sustainability that's often forgotten, which is the social aspect, the human aspect, because of course humans are part of the environment. And I'm sure you've come across this yourself, Simon, in instances where you attend meetings or you attend events where different chats are being had about sustainability, and it's all focused on the environment, as it should, but there is an absence of balance in the sense that there isn't a lot of focus on the social aspects of sustainability. So what I've tried to do throughout my career and more recently in the last few years is to try and function as an academic in my research and in my knowledge exchange activities, working together with businesses to ensure that we have a balanced approach whereby we are undertaking projects, initiatives, etc., to address sustainability challenges. Yes, in the environmental side of things, but also on the social side of things, because we are, as human beings, part of the environment as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the balanced approach there, because you're right. We need to get the balance right. And I always say you can't do too much around the environmental side, because obviously it is important without doubt, but obviously it does impact on other areas, and often, social and human does get overlooked. And you're quite right. I have heard many people in sustainability meetings talking about climate change and things they're doing on that side. But when it comes to the actual, the social aspects, it's kind of, maybe not as high on the pecking order. And I think it's either that people don't necessarily understand it, or they don't realize they're doing a lot of it as well, which I think is key. What's your sort of thoughts on some of the work that goes on, in that you've seen? Is it been real positive stuff, or is it that people maybe need to look at different ways of acting to do different things differently?
Yeah, I think, well, from my own observations, the work that we've been doing at the university is very pivotal work, and it's having a great impact. Last year we had our sustainability summit, which I chaired and was the lead organizer of. And what the summit did was to bring together different stakeholders. So we had over 150 delegates attend in all, from over 40 different businesses, charities, higher education institutions, and local government authorities across Northamptonshire, but also coming from beyond the Northamptonshire. And the main purpose of the summit was to identify shared sustainability challenges on both the environmental and social sides of sustainability, but much more importantly, to set out a framework, some kind of an action plan of what we wanted to do about those challenges and how we're going to address them. And so over the course of the 2 days of the summit, there were different discussions that were held with this purpose or under this umbrella. And at the end of it all, we unveiled the Northampton Sustainability Accord, which of course NNBN is a signatory organization of Simon. And under this accord, we set out the goals that we wanted to achieve, and we set out the framework for how we wanted to address those sustainability challenges. And since then, since we did that in May of 2023, we've had immense progress. We've been moving really at the speed of light in trying to tackle the challenges that that were highlighted in the accord, and trying to attain the sustainability goals that are set out in the accord as well. And we're at the moment running a number of projects in partnership with different stakeholders across the county. An example of this being our TANZ project. We've also got another project or initiative called our Fair Miles Initiative that we're working on as well. And we're bringing other initiatives on stream within the first quarter of this year of 2024. So lots of pivotal work being done at the university, but also lots of pivotal work being done across the county. I look at some of the fantastic work that NNBN does, for example, and it's amazing and having a huge and fantastic impact. And there's other bits of work that are being done by businesses, by charities, by local government authorities, whether in West Northants or North Northants. That is having a fantastic impact as well. So I think there's a lot going on sustainability. But of course, the nature of the challenge that we have is that we've got to do more, and there's that urgency to do more. And that's what we at the university look forward to doing this year. We look forward to continuing the work that we're doing with our stakeholder partners. But we want to accelerate that work. We want to go faster. We want to go further. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to address sustainability challenges under the accord, and to make sure that we're having a lasting impact.
Yeah, brilliant. And you're quite right. We did sign the Sustainability Accord. Basically, I mean, we saw what you were doing, thinking this is what's needed. Where can we add value to this? Where can we add our strength behind this as well to help push the message out there, to get others involved, to signpost people to what's going on as well. So there is a website if people are interested in signing and joining the Accord, which is the SLIPAH website. Now, SLIPAH, great name, by the way. I mean, every time I mention it to people, they're like, we haven't heard of this. But it's a Sustainability Local Innovation Partnership Agenda Hub. That's what SLIPAH stands for. So it's SLIPAH. We'll get the website out in a minute. But there's been some events so far that have been organised, and I've managed to attend a couple, which has been really good. But do you want to talk sort of through what people may have missed so far, and then we'll come on to what's coming up throughout 2024?
Yeah. Thanks, Simon. So SLIPAH is the research. It's a research and knowledge exchange hub that was set up after we unveiled the Accord. So SLIPAH derives its mandate from the Accord, because within the Accord, we had to agree this framework of how we were going to really address the sustainability challenges and attain the sustainability goals set out in that Accord agreement. And of course, the mechanism by which we set out to do that was to set up SLIPAH, which would coordinate all the research and knowledge exchange needed to attain those goals. And so we have since then been fortunate to win some grant funding, working in partnership with West Northants Council to run a net zero project. And this project is called the TANZ West Northants project. And under the banner of this project, what we've been doing is we have been supporting businesses and charities to advance in their net zero journey. And the approach we're taking is a sort of a bottom-up approach, whereby we are bringing together businesses that have started their net zero journey and are making progress and need support to make more progress. But we're also bringing in businesses that have not started the journey at all, especially the much smaller businesses and the sole proprietorships that we're very interested in supporting and helping. And the goal of this program is to provide research, knowledge exchange support, and also to help businesses to identify and to seize financial opportunities that may be out there to reduce their carbon emissions and to really attain net zero. And so we've had different businesses take part in this. And what we've been doing is, as part of this program, we've been running a series of workshops to provide knowledge exchange. And so to obviously provide the necessary resources, the know-how, the information that businesses need in order to understand net zero to begin with, to understand carbon emissions, but also to ensure that businesses and charities are equipped to get on that path to net zero, set their targets, action plan, know exactly what they need to do to attain those targets. And the exciting bit about this project is that as part of it, we are developing an open source carbon calculator that businesses and charities can use to calculate their emissions, but also to model their targets. And what that would mean is that if you were a business and you were to set the target, let's say maybe you would say, by 2030, we as a business, we want to reduce our reliance on the conventional energy grid, and we want to switch to solar, for instance. Of course, we can support you to work out a percentage of that, and then you can plug that into the carbon calculator, and the calculator will model for you how your energy, your emissions will reduce if you keep to that target and if you work towards it. And you'll be able to see in a series of graphs and charts how that your carbon emissions just go down over time. And so this is going to be a very, very significant tool that we can use. And we're working with local businesses to help develop this tool. This is something that we're co-creating. And particularly, we're working with a business called the Sustainable Business Alliance, which is led and founded by a chap called Simon Derrick. He's another Simon. Simon Derrick is sort of supporting us from the Sustainable Business Alliance, which is a Northamptonshire-based organization, to develop this tool. So we're really, really excited about that. And that's what we've been doing really since September.
Brilliant. Well, it all sounds really positive, and it's what people need, I think, and I can't wait to see the tool when it's available. And obviously, we're happy to share the content, make sure people are aware that the tool's available to them. And I've just been looking through the signatory organisations as well that actually signed the accord. So you've got both the unitary councils on there, which is great, but you've also got some smaller businesses and other well-known names like the Salvation Army. Have signed it. I can see the Good Business Charter we align with as well have signed as well. So, and the hospital as well. So, it's not just here for business, is it? It's here for charities. It's here for organisations that want to engage.
Exactly, Simon. And we are, our doors are open. We want the accord to be this very broad banner under which we can all gather to really, really, really accelerate our efforts and to make impactful interventions to address sustainability issues. One of the key things that we're passionate about is We want to move beyond the talk, right? We're tired of talking about sustainability problems or sustainability issues. And a lot of the partners that we work with, including yourself, Simon, feel the same. And so we want to move beyond the talk. We want to act. And we think that we've sort of hit the ground running really since the Accord was unveiled, and we've been able to get these organizations together. And you mentioned the Salvation Army and the Good Business Charter, and all the others who have signed up. Them signing up demonstrates obviously their deep commitment to sustainability, and it is a huge credit to them and to NNBN as well, to sign up to the Accord and to work with us to move beyond the talk, or as Greta Thunberg would put it, to move beyond the blah blah blah, and to sort of ensure that we're actually acting, and we're getting results, and we're making an impact, and we're actually addressing these challenges with solutions that actually work. So yeah, we are very, very interested in working with everybody, and I would passionately appeal to everyone who's listening. If you want to be part of the Accord, go to the website and sign up.
Yeah, talking about the website, let's give out that website address now. So it's slipah.co.uk. Again, it'll be in the show notes from this recording as well, so anybody can see it in there. But yeah, if you go onto the website, you'll see it says join the Accord, and you'll be able to basically put the application in and then hear back from a member of the team. Is that right?
Yes, that's absolutely right, Simon. And it's just a very short expression of interest. It's, of course, it's free of charge. There's nothing to pay for you to be part of the Accord. It's absolutely free. The benefits are all set out on the website. Yeah, just go ahead and sign up, and we will take once we receive your expression of interest, we take things from there, really.
Yeah, great. And you mentioned about the events that you've had so far, but what have we got coming up this year? Because obviously 2024 into the new year now. What can we expect to see this year from some of the online events that will be happening?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Simon. New year 2024. It's an exciting year, albeit that of course it's running fast already, it seems. But for us at SLIPAH this year, we're looking at a number of very, very exciting events coming up. So we will, within the first quarter of this year, we're about to launch a sustainability initiative within the first quarter of this year. This is a sustainability initiative focused mainly on the social side of sustainability. And what we want to do with it is we want to address let me put it this way: we want to support businesses, Simon, to address the issues related to modern slavery in supply chains within Northamptonshire. But of course, not just limited to Northamptonshire. We would welcome organizations from outside of Northamptonshire who want to be part of that initiative, and we will be announcing the details of the initiative through our usual channels. And so this is going to be a huge social sustainability initiative that is going to help to address a major problem within Northamptonshire. It's going to help to improve the lives of some of the most vulnerable people amongst us. We're looking very, very, very excitedly towards that launch. So that's one initiative. And then obviously, as part of our TANZ project, which is already ongoing, we've got 3 fantastic webinars coming up. So the first one that's coming up is on the 30th of January 2024. This webinar is titled the TANZ Net Zero Show and Tell. So what we want to do in this webinar is to showcase the best net zero practices, and it's going to be moderated by one of our colleagues or one of our key stakeholder partners, Max McLivery, who is the editor-in-chief of Beanstalk Global. And we're going to have a panel. This is going to be an online event. We're going to have a panel from a number of businesses who are excelling in their net zero journey, and they are at various stages of their net zero journey. And we just want to create the space for them to share their experiences, really, and to encourage other businesses. And we think that this is great because it fosters peer-to-peer learning within a business, and we think there'll be a lot of sharing best practices associated with this. And then our second webinar is on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day. So we're theming this Valentine's Day webinar as our TANZ Valentine's Day special webinar, right? And this is on effective waste minimization practices and the link that such practices have to net zero. And so obviously on Valentine's Day, when you think about Valentine's, think about showing love to somebody else. But we're theming this webinar around, effective waste management. So a means by which we could show our love to the environment, really. And this is going to be delivered by Tina Benfield from CIWM, the Chartered Institute of Waste Management. And then finally, on the 27th of March, we've got the final webinar for the first quarter of 2024. And this is going to be a big webinar, and it's going to be a demonstration webinar where we will unveil the carbon calculator, and we'll be able to demonstrate how it works to everybody. And in that webinar, we'll be talking about how you can access it, how it works, how you can use it, and we're going to be setting out very, very clearly how we are going to be supporting businesses to use the calculator effectively, so that they can use it to calculate their carbon emissions, but also to model their net zero plans, so that they know the specific interventions that they need to take in order to get to net zero by 2045 or by 2050. So yeah, exciting stuff coming up, Simon, and obviously we can't wait to get started, and we hope everyone listening will join us.
Yeah, certainly exciting. Certainly going to be a busy period for you as well, but certainly an important period, because obviously we've got to get this stuff off the ground. And as you say, and let's get on with it rather than keep talking about it. So I think it's 3 great workshops, 3 great things for people to look out for there to basically engage with. And you mentioned TANZ. Anybody that's not familiar with TANZ, that's towards a net zero. Is that right for West Northamptonshire?
Yes, Simon. It's TANZ is an acronym standing for Towards a Net Zero West Northants, and the idea is for us to propel ourselves towards net zero collectively together, and the goal is to do that by 2045. And this project, I think, will really provides the fuel for us to do it.
Now, one question I'm going to ask is, obviously we're talking West Northamptonshire, and obviously you guys are based in Northampton, but for those that are outside the area, obviously the climate doesn't stop at the A43, is my normal catchphrase. Is, are people able to sort of engage from the other parts of the county and outside, say, neighbouring counties and things?
Yes, of course. Yes, we've already got a number of businesses and charities who are enrolled on the TANZ program, and obviously deriving the benefits from the webinars, etc., whom we are supporting, who are outside of West Northants. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Simon. The issues that we face when it comes to climate change are no respecter of postcodes. So we want to provide a framework to support as many businesses and charities as possible, but of course we realize that the funders who are funding this particular program and project, and of course we are working with West Northants Council on this, would of course want us to have a key focus on West Northamptonshire businesses and charities, which we have. But that doesn't stop us, and we are not being stopped from, under the SLIPAH banner, supporting businesses from further afield.
You mentioned the Sustainability Summit last year. Is there likely to be one this year for people to get involved in and look out for?
Yes, Simon. So we're organising the second Sustainability Summit. It's coming up this year, 2024. the UON Sustainability Summit 2024. It's going to take place over a 2-day period on May the 20th and May the 21st of 2024. And it's themed this year around innovation. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a space for innovative solutions and innovative tools to be discussed and to be applied to pertinent sustainability challenges that businesses are facing. And so effectively, what's going to happen is that you're going to have at the summit in May this year, the space for businesses to come and get real innovative solutions to their sustainability challenges, and we're really looking forward to that.
Well, our commitment as an organisation to help push this information out there, hence the podcast, hence digital publication we've got, the website as well. So please do keep us up to date with what's going on, and anything we can do to help push this message out there, please do get in contact with me here at NNBN, and we will do what we can. For the meantime, though, thanks ever so much for joining us, and we'll catch up soon.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you for having me.